This is Michael Popok, and it must be time for Legal AF After Dark. Well, it's in. The final decision, well, at least for now, of the United States Supreme Court on the issue of whether Donald Trump has presidential immunity so he can commit crimes while he's in office. Sounds like a terrible precedent to set. We actually thought on Legal AF there's no way the United States Supreme Court is going to find 4 votes, let alone 5 votes, to establish the precedent that anybody that sits in the Oval Office is completely immune with superpowers. He or she can commit any crime they want, and they can get away with it. That can't be the law in this country. Yet, the United States Supreme Court has decided that that's an interesting question. Really? Is it? And rather than just leave undisturbed the D.C. Court of Appeals decision, which found no presidential immunity, thank God, they've decided, we'd like to know more about that. Let's have full briefing on an appeal, and we'll get together April the 22nd, an oral argument, and talk about it. Maybe we'll issue a decision this term, sometime in June. Who knows if you can get to your trial or not in the D.C. election interference case? Who knows? Well, we know, and former prosecutor Karen Friedman, Agnifilo, and me break it down on the most recent edition of Legal AF. Here you go. Okay, we got some breaking news, much different than I had thought, and thank you for Salty for posting it there. The United States Supreme Court, apparently there's at least 5 votes of the United States Supreme Court to convert the request for a stay by Donald Trump on the 3-judge panel ruling for the D.C. Court of Appeals that there is no presidential immunity, absolute or otherwise, for criminal conduct while the person is in office. Supreme Court thinks that's interesting and has now decided to set it for a full appeal with full briefing and oral argument, timing out for April the 22nd. What is the impact of that? First of all, I'm gobsmacked for many reasons, but one of them is I really thought the delay, and it's been about 2 weeks or so, is because we were waiting on a denial of the motion for stay and writ of certiorari, and we were waiting on dissents to be written. But apparently what was going on behind closed doors was an attempt to try to grab 4 to 5 votes, 4 votes to take it up on appeal, 5 votes to grant it. So somewhere between 4 and 5 votes. We don't know who. It's all opaque at this moment. They think at the Supreme Court level that they're putting this on a fast track because they're gonna have an oral argument on the 22nd of April. Doesn't mean they're going to rule on the 23rd of April. In fact, Supreme Courts usually take 2 to 3 months. So even if they fast track the argument and the appeal and all of that, and everything's done and dusted on April 22nd, it could take them 2 to 3 months or 6 months to rule. Let's just say it's before the end of the term. The term ends in June. So we get a June ruling. Well, there goes the trial that Judge Chutkan was going to hold for the D.C. election interference case before the election. Because if the ruling comes in June and it's in against Donald Trump, I guess Chutkan could re-scramble, but the parties haven't been preparing for the trial because there's been a stay in place. And so there's no way Chutkan, under due process, is going to force Donald Trump to get ready for trial in 3 weeks and try the case in July or August. So the ramification of this, and I want to get your opinion on it, Karen, is that this D.C. election interference case, the 4 counts against Donald Trump, presided over by Judge Chutkan, is not going to go to trial before the November election. What do you think about all that?
Look, I've never been prouder to say that I came from the Manhattan DA's office. I really haven't, because what this decision is showing us, unfortunately, is the only case that is going to go to trial before the election is the Manhattan DA hush money case, where the first time Donald Trump tried to steal the election. I feel so deflated by this decision. It actually is shocking to me. And I just can't believe they're doing this, because this is already somewhat fast-tracked by doing it this way, because the arguments are going to be in April, and then I guess they could have a decision in June. But then Tanya Chutkan said she'd give them time, and day for day, that's 3 months. So there's no way they're going to start this trial in September or October in the middle of the election. It's just not going to happen. And so that case isn't going. Now with the Real Housewives of Fulton County, that case isn't going because we're sidetracked on whether Fonnie Willis had a consensual relationship with Nathan Wade. And so that case is not going. So neither Jan 6 case is going. And Eileen Cannon, who still has her Mar-a-Lago documents case on the calendar in May, there's no way that case is going in May. And she's slow walking it. She's not taking it off the calendar, but because she wanted to block out Judge Chutkan in case the United States Supreme Court didn't do what they just did. And so that case isn't going. And so the Manhattan DA case, for all the naysayers out there who said, why this case? Why is it going? It's not that very serious, etc. The Manhattan DA's office has always been, put your head down, follow the facts wherever they lead, do not play politics with people's lives, and just, if you committed a crime, no matter who you are, you're not above the law. Period, full stop. And I've never been prouder of my office.
Well, we don't blow smoke or sunshine on Legal AF, and some days it's cloudy with a chance of unconstitutional rulemaking. And that's what you just saw on the most recent episode of Legal AF. We do that show at the intersection of law, politics, and justice twice a week on the MeidasTouch network. We call it Legal AF, and now you know why. The title means exactly what you think. We do it Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on this channel. Don't change the channel. You're already here. Free subscribe. Help them get to 2 million. Sorry, we already had 2 million. 3 million free subscribers. Change the odometer, Popok. And then, if you like what we're doing there, you're going to love what we do in Hot Takes, led by the leaders of Legal AF, where we catch you up during the week in between the shows. If you know all about Legal AF, thanks for being part of our audience. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then that was an example of Legal AF, and I'm Michael Popok. We invite you to join our audience. So until the next Legal AF, until the next Hot Take, this is Michael Popok reporting.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.